Hi friends, in this video I'll be solving different word problem on polynomials. The first question we have here, given that f of x equals to this and we have f of 1 equals to 6 and f of minus 1 equals to 2. So the question says we should determine the values of a and b. So what we are going to do in this case is that the first thing we need to do is that we bring out our function. Since our function f of x is equal ax squared plus bx, right, plus 1, right, and we are having two different values here. So at f of x, which is equals to f of minus 1 and it is equals to 2. So what we are going to do in this case is that we take our x to be equal minus 1 and we are going to substitute it inside this value, right? So in this case, our f of minus 1 is equal now. We have it to be a into bracket minus 1 squared plus b into bracket minus 1 plus 1, right? So that's the first thing. Now the second thing is that our function f of minus 1 is equal to 2. Then we have to put 2 here, which is equal. Everything here will be what? A, because this is minus 1 squared, which is a. A multiplied by 1 is still a, right? This will be minus b, right? Then we are going to have plus 1 here. So here we can just collect like times or we rearrange. Here we are going to have to be a minus b equal, that will be 2 minus 1, right? So now in this case, we have our a minus b to be equals to what? 1. We can still call this equation 1, right? So the next thing we are going to do now is that we come back to this function. Since the function, we come back to the function, we are going to write it. That's f of x, which is equal ax squared, right, plus bx plus 1. Then at f of x is equal f of what? F of 1 now, and which is also equals to what? 6. So I'm going to plug in 1 here. I'm going to have to be what? F of x to be equal a into bracket 1 squared, right, plus b into bracket 1, right, plus 1, right? So now f of x is equal to this. That means my f of 1, this is actually f of 1, and f of 1 is equal to what? 6, I mean. So here I'm going to, let me just simplify first. I'm going to have my f of 1 to be what? That's a plus b plus 1. And f of 1 is equal to 6, then I'm having 6 equals to a plus b plus 1. So bringing this here, I'm going to have my a plus b to be equal to what? 5. Call this equation 2. Now what we are going to do in this case is very simple. We are going to go ahead and, equation 1 is actually a minus b, and this is a plus b. So I'm going to have to what? A minus b, which is equal, that's what? 1. And also a plus b, which is equal 5, right? So making my a subject here, right, I'm going to have to what? A equals to what? 1 plus b. Call it equation 3. This equation 2, this equation 1. So I'll plug in this equation 3 into equation 2. I'm going to have to what? 1 plus b equals what? 5, right? Then here I'm going to have 1 plus 2b equals what? 5. Then I'm going to have it to be, that's bring this one to the side. I'm going to have 2b equals to what? 5 minus 1, right? So in this case, my 2b equals to what? That's 4. Then simply divide both sides by 2. Here, in this case, our b is equals to what? That's 2. So now, what we are going to do is that since b is equals to 2, we can just go ahead and plug in the value of b into what? Into any of the equation, maybe 1 and 2. Then, but let's just put this into equation 2. We can just recall a plus b is equals to 5. Then b is equals to 2, then plug in here, I'm going to have it to be a plus 2, which is equals to 5, right? So here my a will be equals to what? 5 minus 2. Then my a is equals to what? 3, right? So therefore, in this situation, our a equals to what? 3 and our b equals to 2. So let's move to the next question. This is the next question I'm mapping here with me. We are given f of x equals to this, right? And given that f of 0 equals to f of 1 equals to 4, and f of minus 2 is equals to 8. Find the value of a, b, and c. Right? So what we are going to do is that the first thing that we have, the first function is f of 0, right? So at f of 0, our f of x becomes, that's a into bracket 0 raised by 3 plus 2 into bracket 0 raised by 2, right? Plus b into bracket 0, right? Plus what? Plus c. So if you simplify this further, everything here is 0 is 0. That means our f of x, which is f of 0 now, is equals to c. Right? Let's call this equation 1. Then the next one that we have, f of 1. Now what's going to be our f of 1? Our f of 1 in this case, at f of 1. That means our function f of x, which is f of 1, will becomes a into bracket 1 raised power 3, right? Then plus 2 into bracket 1 squared, right? Plus b into bracket 1 plus c. Now, here we're going to have f of 1 to be equal, that's a plus 2 plus b plus c, right? So let's call this one equation 2. Then the next thing that we have is that we have our another function, which is function f of minus 2. So then at f of minus 2 now, right, we are going to have our function f of minus 2, f of x becomes, that's what, that's a into bracket minus 2 raised power 3, right, plus 2 into bracket minus 2 all squared, right, then plus b into bracket minus 2, right, then plus c. So simplifying this further, our f of x, which is f of minus 2 now, becomes, this is actually minus 8a, right, then this should give us this square, that's plus 8, then this is actually minus 2b, right, plus c. Let's call this td. Now, as the case may be, looking at this, f of minus 2 is equal to 8, f of 1 is equal to what? 4, f of 0 is equal to f of 1, which is equal to what? 4. That means the first thing is that our f of, since f of 0 is equal to f of 1, and what is f of 1? F of 1 is what? Is 4. That means we are going to take this one as what? As 4. So everything here is what? Is 4. So therefore, our c in this case is equal to what? 4. Let's start this. So after that, we come back to this equation 2. What's the equation 2? That's f of 1, right? F of 1, which is equal to what? A plus 2 plus b plus c. Then f of 1 equals to what? 4 from the question. Then here we are going to have to be 4 equals to a plus 2 plus b plus c. Then collect like that, we're going to have a plus b plus c equals to what? That's 2, right? So after that, the next thing, let's start this also. The next thing we are going to have is that we come back to this last aspect. So in this case, our f of minus 2 is actually 8. Then we're going to put it there. We're going to have it to be, this becomes, that's 8 equals to minus 8a plus 8, right? Then minus 2b, right? Minus 2b plus c. So here we're going to have it to be 8 to cancel 8 here, right? We're going to have it to be minus 8a, right, equal minus 8a minus 2b plus c is equal 0. Right? So let's start this now. So what we are going to do is that from the first aspect here, our c is equal to 4. Let's just come back to this. What if we take this as 4? If we put 4 here, what's going to happen? We're going to have it to be, that's a plus 4, right? No, a plus 4 plus b equals to what? 2. You can have it like that, right? So there we're going to have to be, that's a plus b equals to what? That's 2 minus 4. Then a plus b equals to what? That's minus 2. So you can simply make our a the subject here. We are going to have a equals to what? Minus 2 minus b. Let's start this also. Now after that, we come back here. What if we substitute our value of c to be 4 here also? We are going to have to be what? Minus 8a, right? Then minus 2b. Then after that, we are going to have it what? Plus 4 equals to what? 0. So here we are going to have, simply have to be what? Minus 8a minus 2b equals to what? That's minus 4. Right? So it's very simple. So what we are going to do now is that since a equals to minus 2 minus b here, I'm going to substitute it here. So that I'm going to have this what? Minus 8 into brackets. What's my a? Minus 2 minus b, right? Then close bracket, I'm going to have to what? Minus 2b again equals to what? Minus 4. So if I simplify this further, I'm going to have this what? Minus, that's plus 16, right? Plus 16 plus 8b, right? Minus 2b equals to what? Minus 4. So now here I'm having to what? Plus 16, this and this will give me 16 plus 8b minus 2b, that's actually plus 6b equals to what? Minus 4, right? Then I'm going to have this what? 6b equals to what? Minus 4, that's what? Minus, that's actually minus 4 minus 16, right? So here I'm going to have 6b to be equals to what? That's minus 20, right? So b is equal, that's actually minus 20 over 6, right? Divided by 6. Then here I'm going to have it to be, that's 2 goes in this side, 2 goes in this place. I'm having everything to be, that's actually minus 10 over 3. Then I can now recall, I can recall that my A equals what? Minus 2 minus B, right? So in this case now, what I'm going to have is that I'm going to put my B, which is minus 10 over 3, into this side. I'm going to have to what? A equals to minus 2 minus open brackets, that's actually minus 10 over 3, which is equals to what? My B, right? So here I'm going to have it to be, that's actually A equal minus 2 plus 10 divided by what? 3. So here I'm going to have to what? To be 3, right? Then here I'm having minus 6 plus what? Plus 10, which is equals to what? A, right? So here I'm going to have to what? A equals to what? That's actually 4 divided by what? 3, right? A equals to 4 divided by 3, and our B is equals to what? Minus 10 divided by 3, and our C equals to what? That's 4. So that's just it. So if you enjoyed this video, please do well to share it with your friends and drop your comment in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.